The Wall Street Journal editorial board, meanwhile, with a new op-ed this morning on how TikTok allegedly suspended an account featuring a documentary on Apple Daily founder Jimmy Lai. The editorial board writes this: the move goes against what the CEO claimed on Capitol Hill back in March when he, quote, denied TikTok would ever censor on behalf of China's Communist Party. Joining me right now is New York Sun contributor and the actual son of Jimmy Lai. Sebastian Lai is here. Sebastian, thanks very much for being here. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much, Maria. Thanks for having me on your program.
So the Journal editorial board says 2 hours after they published their article, a TikTok spokesperson called the account, said that the account was removed by mistake and is now available. What do you think went on here, Sebastian?
I think if it was a coincidence, it'd be a very unusual and unfortunate coincidence to have blocked my father's, the documentary about my father.
Tell me about that documentary.
So it's by the Acton Institute, and it basically chronicles the story of his life up until his arrest. So he's been in jail since the end of 2020. And it shows the injustice that's happening to him, and that's still happening to him. He's 75. He's still in jail. He's been in jail for more than 2 years. So yeah.
How is he doing? Have you spoken to him?
So because of how broad the national security law is, something like what I'm currently doing right now can be seen as a collusion of foreign forces, and as a result, I haven't gone back to Hong Kong in the last 2 years.
It's so troubling. Your father is and has been a friend of this program. In fact, I do believe that we had the last interview with him before he was actually detained. Here's a bit of that. Watch.
Oh, sorry, I missed last bit.
Hold on, Sebastian. Here's your father when he joined us right before he was arrested.
Yeah.
But definitely I would not admit guilty, because for somebody who is determined to resist, I would never admit guilty.
Our prayers are with your father. That was back in December 2020, and we know that that was his last interview, or one of his last interviews before they actually arrested him. Sebastian, you mentioned the national security law in China and the national security law trial in Hong Kong. He's reportedly filed an order of judicial review to overturn a decision to deny his British lawyer a visa extension. Your father, of course, has been a warrior for so many years before he was arrested. Do you want to tell us where you think this is going? Do you think he will be able to get a fair shot at all?
So the idea of him getting a free trial, I think, is essentially next to none. And I say that because so his national security law trial is coming up at the end of September, but when he was first arrested, he was charged with unauthorized assembly. So what does that actually mean? So one of the charges that he got 13 months for, he went to a Tiananmen Square vigil. That happens every single year in Hong Kong since the massacre, and he lit a candle and said a prayer for 15 minutes, and for that he got 13 months in prison. So you could sort of see how the legal system is being weaponized against both my father, but all the other political prisoners.
It's just so disheartening to see what the Chinese Communist Party is doing. And we talk about the potential for an invasion of Taiwan all the time. What's your sense of this? Because the CCP was able to just march into Hong Kong and take over and start throwing around their national security law, putting freedom fighters like your father in jail. Do you sense that that would be the proclivity in Taiwan, or do you think that there would be an actual military conflict? The U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency director is warning that the China threat is serious in a Senate Armed Services Committee hearing yesterday. Here's what he said. Watch.
Beijing is expanding its global influence and stepping up its multi-domain pressure campaign against Taiwan. Xi Jinping's attainment of a third term as the General Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party positions Beijing for further progress on military modernization and operational goals that will challenge the U.S. during the next year and beyond.
So what do you think? You live in Taiwan. What are your thoughts in terms of how or whether China will, in fact, invade, even if it's a soft invasion like they did in Hong Kong?
Yeah, so as you mentioned, I currently do live in Taiwan, so it is very much, my hope and everybody's on the islands that they don't invade the country. Whether they will invade, I think it doesn't necessarily make that much sense, because one of the I'm sure one of the greatest assets that Taiwan has is the chips. It's TSMC. But once China invades Taiwan, the fabs, essentially you can't. It's not like you could just put another team there and churn out those chips. So it doesn't make economical sense. Obviously, it's not necessarily the only drive for a country to invade another. But I personally hope they don't, and I don't think it would be a hard invasion. As in, I don't think it would be
military
armies, tanks, and all that.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you. Do you think it would be a similar situation like what they did in Hong Kong? Because in Hong Kong, they were able to march in there, take over, and throw people in jail, and you didn't see a significant military invasion. So that's what I was asking you. And even for your own travel, Sebastian, you live in Taiwan, you're in New York today. We're happy that you're on the show. Are you afraid to travel, and are you worried about your own security, given the circumstances of your father in prison and the CCP watching you, no doubt? Yeah,
so, one of the issues that we faced, because we're speaking out on behalf of my father, is a lot of this, like China's influence abroad. And as a result of that, there are a few countries that I do avoid. But that's mainly, countries that you'd expect anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sebastian, thanks very much. Thank you for your courage. We're praying for you and your family, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.